You're lying down, supported by whatever surface holds you, your back against a mattress, your body cradled by a couch or floor. And there's no need to move, not even slightly. Your breath can come and go without effort, just as it always has, and right now, you're invited simply to let the weight of stillness settle into every part of you. Maybe you came here looking for NSDR, for non-sleep deep rest, for a way to rest without sleeping, for something that helps when you're exhausted but can't nap, and you're in the right place. This is not medical advice, and if you've been struggling with sleep or health concerns over time, speaking with a doctor is always wise. This practice is simply one gentle method of giving your nervous system space to shift from effort into stillness. You don't need to change anything about yourself. Your body isn't broken, nor does it require fixing. It's already doing its best work, even now, trying to recover in the quiet. Let your breathing begin where it naturally is. Inhale just a little, not forced, not deep. Let the air come in easily through your nose or mouth, wherever it flows most freely for you. Then pause briefly, as if listening to what comes next. Now on the exhale, let it go slowly, longer than the inhale, letting each out-breath be a little more complete than the last. There's no need to push or stretch. It's not about breathing faster or deeper. It's about giving your body permission to slow down. The long exhalation is one of the most natural signals your nervous system has for shifting from alertness into rest. It tells your heart to ease up, your muscles to soften, your mind to stop scanning the edges of what might go wrong. So let each exhale be smooth and quiet, longer than the inhale. And when you're ready, just stay there with that rhythm, inhaling softly and exhaling slowly, as if you were releasing a thought or a breath held for hours. You may notice tension in your jaw. It's not unusual to hold it clenched after hours of silent worry. That tightness isn't a flaw. It's simply a habit formed from staying alert even when the danger has passed. But now, there's no need to fight that sensation. Instead, let your awareness rest gently on your teeth, on the soft tissue just behind them, and then slowly release any pressure in the muscles around your mouth. Let your lips part slightly, not quite open, but unhurriedly loose. Your chin can drop a fraction lower into its resting position. No need to guide it, just let gravity do what it does best. As you keep breathing, inhaling softly, exhaling slowly, imagine that the act of releasing each breath is also loosening something inside. Not fixing, not changing, but simply letting go. Now move your attention up, gently, without urgency, to your cheeks. They may feel taut from holding on to what's been running through your mind all day. That tightness is real, but so is the fact that you don't have to do anything about it right now. Just notice how they rest, whether they're flat against bone or lifted slightly, and let them be as they are. No need to reshape them. Just allow their weight to settle into your face, into the bones beneath, into the connective tissue between muscle and skin. Your eyes may feel heavy already, but don't open them yet. Keep them closed, resting in darkness, and send a soft awareness down through the bridge of your nose, behind each eye, letting that space be still, unbothered by images or memories. Your forehead, too possibly furrowed from thinking, from reading tiny signs into silence, from wondering what comes next. Let it stay smooth now, not because you're trying to erase thought, but simply because your body can rest without needing permission. No need to straighten anything. Just let the skin above your brows soften, release any tension in the muscles that pull inward or upward, and imagine a quiet space between your eyebrows where thoughts may pass, but don't stop. You aren't fighting them. You're just allowing them to drift through like clouds, not landing, not sticking. Now shift awareness up, toward your scalp, toward the top of your skull. Feel how it rests against the air, how it's covered by hair or bare skin, and whether there's warmth, coolness, a light pressure from your head pressing into whatever supports you. You don't have to feel anything special here. Just let this region be present, not as an object to fix, but simply as part of the whole. There may be a subtle tension along the hairline, where worry gathers or where attention settles too tightly, but again, there's no need to change it. Let your scalp be heavy, like a soft cap resting on the bones beneath. Now let your focus move gently around the back and sides of your head to your ears. They may feel taut from listening to silent conversations in your mind, or perhaps you've been aware of background noise all day without noticing it. Just notice whether there's any pressure against them, or a slight warmth, or even nothing at all. That's fine too. Let your awareness settle into the space just behind each ear, where the jaw connects with the skull. And let that joint be still, not clenched, not strained, but simply present. You're not trying to hear anything new, only to notice what already is. Now bring attention down through your neck, the long column of muscle and bone connecting head to chest. It may feel stiff from holding position too long, or perhaps it's been tense with the weight of things unsaid. But you don't have to adjust it. No need to stretch or pull forward or tilt back. Just let this region be what it is, supported by gravity, resting against your spine, and notice how each vertebra aligns, not perfectly, but naturally, as if held in place by the quiet work of muscles that aren't trying too hard. Now shift attention to one shoulder, the right one first. Feel its weight pressing into whatever supports you, whether it's a bed or floor or couch. Is it lifted slightly, dropped down? Does it feel heavy, light, numb? Just notice. Don't judge it, don't want it to be different. Let your awareness rest there, on the shoulder joint where muscle meets bone, and then slowly let that attention slide down through your upper arm, across the elbow, and into your forearm. Follow each section without rushing, letting gravity do its work, letting time stretch just enough so you can feel how each part connects to the next. Now pause at your hand, not with effort, but simply by allowing your palm to rest flat against whatever surface holds it. Whether there's contact or not, let that space be known. Notice if any fingers are curled, whether one is pressing into another, and then gently invite them all to soften, just slightly if they're able. Don't force anything. Just notice the shape of your hand as it lies now, how each knuckle sits, where pressure builds or fades. And let that awareness drift down through the middle of your palm, across the base of your fingers, toward the tips. Now move to the other shoulder, the left one, and repeat the same slow descent, from joint to upper arm down to elbow, forearm, wrist, hand. Let it be a mirror path, not identical, but just as unhurried. Your body isn't trying to match anything, it's simply being felt, region by region. As you move through your arms, notice how the muscles in each one respond. Some may feel tight from holding things earlier or from keeping yourself upright too long. That's okay. You don't need to release them now. You only need to recognize them. Now turn attention inward to your chest. Feel the rise and fall of your breath, not guiding it, just noticing how air moves in and out, how your rib cage expands slightly with each inhale and sinks back down during exhalation. There may be a tightness here, not from effort or pain, but from carrying emotional weight, from holding onto what might happen tomorrow. Let that tension remain as part of the whole. Don't try to push it away. And just let your awareness rest in this area. Feel how the skin sits over bone and muscle, where your heart beats beneath, and allow the rhythm of breathing to become a kind of slow drumming, steady and deep. Let that rhythm continue, steady and unhurried, like water moving slowly over stone. The breath carries its own quiet strength, not pushing forward, not forcing anything, but simply being present in each moment of expansion and release. And with it comes a growing awareness of your belly, where the warmth gathers just below your navel, not tight or hollow, but full in the way that stillness can be, like soil after rain, soft beneath the surface. Feel how it rises when you inhale, not dramatically, but gently, as if responding to some quiet invitation from within, and then sinks back down during exhalation, not collapsing, not falling away, just yielding, letting go of any need to hold on. Now let your attention settle into that space, the lower abdomen, where the body begins its deep alignment with gravity. There's no need to deepen or control this area. No demand for relaxation. Just allow it to be known as one part of a whole system that is already at rest, even if not yet fully conscious of it. Notice how your spine curves slightly inward here, like a gentle arc. This isn't an accident of posture. It's the natural shape of support when you're lying down, letting everything align with gravity rather than resist it. Feel your hips now, the bones that cradle your core and carry the weight of every movement you've made today. Are they level, one higher than the other? Do they press into the surface beneath you or float just above it? Let yourself notice without needing to correct anything. There's no right way for them to feel, only what is true in this moment. Your pelvis isn't trying to be perfect. It's simply holding your body upright through time and motion, now resting, finally still. Let that awareness move down along the outer edge of one hip, following the line where muscle meets bone, not chasing sensation, not seeking change, but allowing yourself to feel how each point connects to the next, like a series of small anchors, steady and quiet, holding the structure together without strain. Now bring your attention across the front of that thigh, just above the knee, where skin stretches over flesh and tendons. And notice if there's any tension building from sitting too long in one position, or from carrying emotional weight like invisible stones inside your legs. Let it be, you don't have to release it now. Just let this part of you be seen as it is, the shape of a leg resting on the surface beneath, not needing to do anything but exist. Now shift gently down toward your knee. Feel how the joint rests in its own space, whether slightly bent or fully extended. Not judging that angle, not asking if it's right, just recognizing it. The small crease at the back of the knee, the way the skin folds when you're still. And then letting go into the softness of your lower leg, calf muscle, tendons, veins just beneath the surface. Let gravity do its quiet work here too, not pulling downward with force, but allowing everything to settle where it belongs. Feel how each section of the calf responds to being attended to. Some parts may feel heavy, others numb, some tingling as blood returns after stillness. That's okay. No need to fix any of it. Just notice, and let that noticing be enough. Now come down through your ankle, where bone meets foot, and allow your awareness to rest in the hollow just above the heel, where the tendons gather before connecting into movement. There may be a slight ache from carrying yourself for hours on end, the kind of fatigue that settles deep into joints rather than muscles. That's not failure. It's evidence of effort already done. Now bring attention to your foot, your right one first, not as something you must manage, but simply as part of the whole. Feel how it lies against whatever supports it, whether flat or slightly curled, toes pointing forward or splayed outward. Let your awareness move across the top of the foot, the arch where bones rise into a gentle curve, and then down along the outer edge toward the little toe. Notice if any pressure builds in the ball of the foot or at the base of the big toe. These are not signals to change anything, only data from your body's own language. Now let that attention drift across the soul, the inner plane where sensation gathers most intensely. Feel how each pad of flesh responds as you touch it with awareness. The thickened skin under your heel, the sensitive area just beneath the big toe, the soft center where nerves are dense and quiet. Let there be no rush to know what this means, only space for the feeling itself to exist. Now repeat that same path on the other foot, the left one, and let it move through exactly as before, not faster, not slower, but simply present. The warmth of your feet may differ slightly from one side to another, not because one is colder or wrong, but because they are separate points in a larger network of sensation. As you continue downward into each toe, letting attention travel fingertip by fingertip, the texture shifts again. The rounded tip of your big toe, the tapering sides of the second and third fingers, the way they curve inward slightly when relaxed. Some may feel stiff from earlier tension, others may tingle as circulation returns after stillness. None of it needs correction. Now pause just for a breath and let that awareness fold back into your entire body at once, not piece by piece, but as one continuous field. Let the sense of separation fade, not through effort, but simply because there's no need to stay divided anymore. You're not somewhere else while you're here. You are nowhere except where your attention rests. And so this whole body, this living architecture of bone and muscle, skin and nerve, is now known in its entirety, not as a problem to fix, nor as an image to perfect, but simply as what is. The weight pressing into the surface beneath you, the way your spine curves naturally along the edge of support, the quiet pulse behind your eyes, the gentle rise of breath under your ribs. Each part exists without needing permission. Now let that awareness shift slightly, not away from the body, but inward toward a different kind of sensation. Contact. Notice where your skin meets whatever holds you, the bed sheet against your back, the floor beneath your feet, the couch cushion at the small of your hips. There may be gaps, spaces with no touch, but even those are known now as part of the whole. Let each point of connection register, not with intensity, not with judgment, but simply as evidence that you are here, supported by something solid and reliable. The surface beneath is doing its job without speaking. It doesn't care whether your jaw was clenched or your thoughts raced. It only holds. And so do you now, allowing yourself to be held. Let the weight of your body sink deeper, not through force, but through surrender. There's no need to push down, no need to strain into stillness. You are already sinking slowly, steadily like sand in water, falling without resistance toward a quiet bottom. And as you do, let that heaviness travel inward too, not just the physical weight of limbs and torso, but the emotional weight. The thoughts left unspoken, the worries held close, the anxieties wrapped inside your chest. Not pushing them out, not dissolving them, but allowing them to rest along with everything else like stones in a riverbed that have finally settled. You don't need to understand what's here. You don't need to fix anything. You only need to allow it all. The tension, the stillness, the warmth, the quiet, to be part of this moment, and then let go into the space between breaths, where nothing needs to happen, where time stretches without pressure. Now gently introduce a soft intention, not as a command, not as a goal, but simply as an invitation. If there's something you've carried with you tonight, if peace feels distant, if rest seems out of reach, let one quiet phrase drift through your mind. I am safe here, or this is enough, or perhaps just let it be. No need to repeat it. Just let the shape of that thought float like dust in a sunbeam and then dissolve. There's no requirement for change. There's only this moment, unfolding without urgency. The lamp still hums softly in the corner, its light dimmed to a whisper, your body still lying exactly as it is, not better, not worse, just resting. You don't need to hold anything anymore, not even the idea that you should be holding less. No more effort to gather yourself, no more waiting for permission to stop. Your body has already begun this quiet letting go, and it's happening without a single decision from you, just as water settles in stillness. When left undisturbed by wind, so too does your form return now to its natural alignment. No adjustment needed, only acceptance of the shape that is already here. The slight curve of your spine where it rests against the support beneath you, the way your pelvis tilts forward and back in balance with gravity's quiet pull, not stiffening into posture, nor collapsing from fatigue, but simply being held by what supports you, as if this surface had been waiting all along to receive you fully. No part of you has ever needed to be stronger or lighter, only allowed to exist exactly as it is. That small knot between your shoulder blades, the one that's held tension for days now, it doesn't need to vanish. It can just stay, and in staying, let go a little more each breath, not through force, but because there's no reason left to keep it tight. You're not trying to fix anything. You're not even aware of it anymore, only the fact that it exists as part of this moment, like a stone lying on the riverbed beneath all movement, present, unchallenged, at peace in its place. And beyond it, deeper now, the warmth rising from your core, not sharp or urgent, but slow, steady, spreading outward like steam from a kettle left alone on the stove, not heating you up, not pushing anything forward, but simply existing as heat that doesn't need to do anything, just being, allowing itself to be felt without needing to mean something. This warmth flows through your ribs and down into your lower back, where it meets the coolness of air touching skin. No conflict between them, only coexistence. one not fighting against the other, but sharing space in silence. You're no longer resisting what is. You don't need to choose between comfort and discomfort anymore. There's room for both. Just as there is room for tension and release, stillness and breath. And even for that low hum behind your ears, the kind of sound that isn't loud enough to be noticed unless you've been listening for it all night. It's not a signal, not an alarm, not a warning. It's only the quiet background pulse of blood moving through small vessels, like water running under stone in a forest stream when no one is watching. And now, because there are no demands on your attention, that sound becomes part of what you notice, not as noise, but as rhythm. A gentle beat beneath the surface of awareness, like time itself breathing slowly, not ticking forward with urgency, but simply being present, each second unfolding without needing to be measured or marked. And if your mind wanders toward thoughts, whether about tomorrow's responsibilities, whether someone might call tonight, whether you've forgotten something important, it doesn't matter. You don't need to pull it back. It can wander like a bird flying past the window, seen for a moment, then lost again in distance, not rejected, not welcomed, but simply passing through, as if awareness were an open door that lets everything drift by without closing, no resistance, no chasing after clarity. Only this, the body lying here, breathing out slowly, each exhale longer than the last. The way your chest rises and falls with such ease now, like a boat gently bobbing on dark water. Not rising too high, not sinking too low, but resting in balance between effort and surrender. You don't need to control it. You don't even need to watch it, only let it be what it is. And as that happens, the air moving through your nose, the soft pressure at the bridge of your skull, the faint tension behind your eyes when a memory surfaces. None of these things are problems anymore. They're just sensations, floating in space like particles in sunlight. Not demanding action, not requiring interpretation, only existing. And with each one that passes, you settle deeper into the quiet between them, where nothing needs to be done. No thoughts need to be held or released. No past needs correction. No future requires preparation. This moment is complete exactly as it is, even if your jaw still carries a trace of tightness just below the surface. Like memory of something that happened hours ago, not now. You don't have to release it. You can let it be part of the weight that rests with everything else, and in letting go of the need to fix it, the tension begins to soften on its own, without instruction, like frost melting from a windowpane when the sun finally reaches it. Gradually, quietly, not suddenly, because nothing is rushing. There's no deadline, no one waiting for you to wake up or be better or do anything at all. Only this, your body receiving what it needs, rest, stillness, presence, not as something earned but simply given. Like the night giving itself back to stars that have forgotten how bright they are. And now beneath you the bed floor, couch, whatever holds you is not just a surface. It's not separate from your body. It's part of what supports you in this state. Its solidity meeting yours without judgment or demand. No need for you to push into it more or sink deeper than you already are. As only the fact that contact exists. And with each point where skin meets material, your forearm on the sheet, your foot resting flat against floor, the heel of your hand pressing lightly into cushion, there's a tiny moment of connection, not dramatic, not meaningful, but real, like a thread stitching two worlds together in silence. One end here, one out there, and now you're feeling both at once. The softness beneath, the weight above. No separation between them anymore, only continuity. And as that continuity grows, like roots spreading quietly through soil, you begin to notice how your body isn't just lying on something, it's becoming part of a larger stillness around it. Not separate from the room, not isolated in darkness, but merged with its atmosphere, like warmth seeping into walls after sunset, like breath shared between two people who don't speak. No exchange needed, only presence. And the air itself feels different now, not just empty space, but thickened by your stillness. As if the world is holding its own breath to let you rest. Not out of kindness, but because it's already been doing so all along, without saying anything. And somewhere beneath that awareness, the quiet undercurrent of blood moving through veins, there's a rhythm now that doesn't depend on thought or will. It just is. Like the turning of the earth in silence, unnoticed by anyone who isn't listening. You don't need to listen either. You only need to be where your breath is, and where your body meets support, and where no one is waiting for a response, not even yourself. And as that settles in, this deep layer of unbroken stillness, the kind that doesn't require anything from you, you begin to feel it not just inside, but around, like the air has thickened into something softer than light, slower than sound, heavier than memory. And this heaviness isn't a burden. It's only what happens when nothing else needs to be done, no pushing forward, no preparing for tomorrow, no checking if you've said enough or done enough or been enough. Just being. And the more you allow that, without adding anything, without shaping it, you find yourself sinking deeper into the place where effort stops. Not because you're tired, but because there's no reason left to keep going. And in this place, time doesn't move forward. It only exists as now. And now is long enough, and deep enough, and full enough to carry everything, even the parts that don't make sense, even the ones that feel like they need fixing. You don't have to understand them. You just have to let them stay exactly where they are, not as problems, but as part of this moment's texture, like dust in a sunbeam, floating, unseen until attention finds it, and then simply noticed, and then left alone. No judgment, no action, only awareness. And the deeper you go into that, the quieter everything becomes, not because there's less to hear, but because your nervous system has stopped scanning for danger. It's already decided. You are safe not by virtue of anything in the world, But because this act of rest is enough, simply being here, lying still, breathing slowly, is its own defense, its own proof. And so the body lets go further, not through will, but because there's no reason to hold on anymore. Like a hand opening after hours of gripping something that wasn't real. Only now it's not even about letting go of grip, it's about realizing you were never holding anything at all, just believing you had to. And in that realization, there is no struggle, no effort to change, no desire for relief, only stillness, and within that stillness, the faintest sensation rising from your lower abdomen, the kind of warmth that isn't heat but presence, not emotion, not thought. Just a quiet hum of being alive, like the last light in a room after everyone has left, soft enough to touch nothing, strong enough to remain. And you do. You don't need to name it. You don't need to pull it close or push it away. Just let that warmth remain, like a quiet ember beneath ash, not bright but still alive, not calling out, not demanding notice, simply there in the slow pulse of your body's own keeping. And as you stay with it without shaping or naming, you begin to feel how little it asks, only presence. And for once, that is enough, no demand for change, no need to be more or less than this moment allows. And just being held by the soft weight of stillness, like a leaf resting on water, no effort in its position, no fear of sinking, no thought about what comes next. It simply is. And so are you, not because you've earned it, not because you've done enough thinking or feeling or waiting, but because this breath, this body, this surface beneath, you were never meant to carry more than what's here now. The air moves through your nose, gentle and steady, and there's no need for it to be different. No reason why it should rush in, no urgency for it to leave. It comes when it wills, stays as long as it chooses, and returns again without effort, like a tide that knows its own rhythm. You don't guide it, only let it pass through the doorway of your body, and each time it flows out, longer than in, something shifts slightly inside. Not fixed, not healed, just quieter, less resistance, as if the walls between what's outside and what's within have softened, like a window left open after rain. Air moves freely now, not forced, not blocked, but simply allowed to pass through where it pleases, and that passage is no longer an act of will. It's only nature, breathing in response to itself. And when the exhale lengthens again, slow and full, a quiet letting go happens at a level deeper than thought, like roots loosening from soil they've gripped too tightly for too long. Not because anything has changed out there, but because your body now remembers what it's been doing all along. Resting. Not as a goal, not as a reward, just as its own natural state. And if you were to lie here for hours, days even, the rhythm would hold. The breath would slow further, the awareness deepen without effort. No need to force stillness, because stillness is already happening. It's not something you create, it's what remains when everything else has stopped. And now notice how your jaw, still tense from so long ago, is beginning to soften, not through command, not by trying harder, but simply by allowing the weight of your head to be supported exactly as it is. No need to hold it up anymore. Nothing requires you to stay alert, and in that release, the subtle shift at the corners of your mouth, the quiet surrender behind your eyes, something loosens, like a door finally left unlatched after years of being held shut. Not because it was broken, but because the reason for keeping it closed has faded away, and what's left is just air, space, openness, where nothing needs to be guarded or defended. No one outside this room knows you're here. No one inside even cares if you stay awake or sleep. And that lack of demand, this absence of expectation, is its own kind of care, not in words but in silence, not in motion but in stillness. And as you rest deeper into it, your arms drift a little farther from your body, not because you've decided to move them, but because they are no longer needed to hold anything back. The fingers uncurl slightly, just enough to feel how their weight is now part of the surface beneath, not separate, not fighting gravity, just resting with it, like stones in water that have long stopped resisting being pulled down. And when you notice that subtle shift, not even a gesture, just awareness, you realize something quiet. Your body has been trying to speak for hours, not with words but through tension, through clenched teeth, through tight shoulders, through the way your breath shortens every time a thought arrives. It's been asking without saying anything to be heard, and now that you're listening, not fixing, not solving, just being present, you are finally giving it what it needed all along: permission to stop trying. And so it settles. Not because something changed out there, but because inside, the nervous system has made a decision without your knowing. It's decided that danger is not here. The world hasn't ended. No one is waiting to judge you. And even if they were, this moment isn't for them. This breath isn't meant to be seen. It belongs only to you. This quiet passage of air through your lungs, this soft weight against the mattress, this slow descent into something older than thought. Like a river flowing through earth that doesn't remember where it began or where it ends, just moving forward because it can. And your body moves with it now, not resisting, not holding back, but carried by its own current. And you don't have to understand it. You only need to be here when the moment arrives, like a stone in the stream, no purpose but to exist within the flow. No desire to go anywhere else, no fear of being swept away. And because you're already where you belong, resting, supported, unseen, not because you've vanished, but because your presence is so deep it doesn't need recognition. Now let your attention drift down, not into search or effort, but like a slow current finding its own path through the body's quiet chambers. Begin at the top of your head, not to fix anything, not to adjust, just to notice how the scalp rests on bone, how the skin is soft where it meets air. No need for tension here, only the weight of hair, the warmth of blood moving beneath. And as you stay there, no judgment, no correction, The space between your skull and the sky feels porous, like a membrane that allows breath to pass through without blocking anything. Not tight, not closed, just open in its own way. And when you turn attention gently down to your forehead, feel how the skin is relaxed now where it was once drawn taut with worry. No lines forming from effort, only smoothness, as if time has paused here, forgotten to mark anything, and behind your eyes, no strain, just softness, like a curtain lowered after a long performance. Not hiding anything, but simply resting in stillness. The light that passes through isn't sharp anymore. It's filtered now by peace. Now let your awareness move to your ears. Feel how they are open, but not listening, not seeking sound, only receiving whatever comes without effort, like two small cups left out on a table after rain, catching drops but never demanding them. And as you stay there, no need for the world to speak. The silence becomes richer than sound, because it's not empty, it's full of what isn't heard. The hum beneath thought, the space between breaths, the pause before any word forms. And when you let your attention rest in that quiet zone behind your ears, a place no one ever visits, something opens, not a door but an aperture, like a lens focusing on stillness instead of motion. And then slowly, gently, you move to your neck. You feel how it's unclenched now where once it held the weight of every unsaid thing. No stiffness, no strain, just the soft curve between skull and shoulder, supported by air, not needing to hold up anything, only being there. Like a tree branch that has stopped trying to reach for sun, and instead lets gravity pull it into balance with the earth. You feel how your neck yields now, not with collapse but with release, like a hinge that has remembered it doesn't need to stay rigid, no longer braced against the weight of imagined consequences, just allowing the skull to settle into its natural alignment over the spine, gravity taking what it needs without resistance. And as you let go further, your shoulders begin to soften from their high perch, not falling, but releasing, like two stones in a stream that have finally stopped fighting the current. They sink deeper into stillness, no longer trying to hold back pain or protect yourself, just letting the arms drape down where they land, one arm heavy and loose against your side, fingertips brushing the edge of the mattress, the other curling slightly as if holding onto nothing but air. And in that posture, no effort, no expectation, you begin to notice how much tension had been stored not only in muscle, but in breath. You've been breathing shallowly for hours, just enough to stay awake, never enough to rest. Now let your chest expand slowly, like a bellows opening after long silence, the air entering gently, filling from below upward, not rushing, not forcing, just arriving where it's needed. And as it moves through your ribs, you feel how the space beneath them opens wide, no longer compressed by worry, no longer folded inward to protect a heart that doesn't need shielding anymore. Now turn attention to your upper back, not to fix or stretch, but simply to rest there, feel where the fabric of skin meets bone across the spine's quiet ridge. Notice how the muscles have relaxed in patches, some still holding faint memory of strain, others already gone slack with surrender like a field after rain. Some areas damp and yielding, others still dry, but all receiving moisture in time. No need to hurry it, you are not fixing anything here, only being present where you already are. And when your awareness lingers just above the shoulder blades, where tension often pools unnoticed, you might feel how that space has begun to soften like a folded cloth, slowly smoothing itself out with nothing pushing or pulling. There's no shape required, no posture demanded, just weight resting on bone, blood flowing freely through veins that don't know they were once tight. Feel your lower back now, how it curves slightly into the surface beneath you, not arching to compensate for anything, not lifting to prove you're still awake or in control, just letting the spine rest where it naturally falls, like a branch bending under snow, not breaking, but adapting. And as you stay here, no longer monitoring, only observing, your attention begins to drift downward through your hips and notice how they settle into the mattress's curve, not pressing down but receiving. Every contour of the surface shapes itself around them without effort. There's no demand for a perfect shape or alignment, just acceptance. And as you let this sink in, the quiet truth that you don't need to adjust to be whole, something deeper settles within your pelvis, like water filling a basin that never knew it was empty, not seeking to become anything new, but simply returning home to what has always been there. Now move through the front of your body, your belly now relaxed instead of clenched, no longer guarding against fear or overthinking, just breathing easily beneath your ribs. The skin soft where it meets air, the muscles loose like roots in soil that no longer need to fight for water. And as you rest here, aware but not analyzing, you begin to sense how much of your body has been waiting, not for sleep, not even for stillness, but simply for permission. Permission to stop carrying things that weren't yours to carry. And now, slowly, the weight begins to shift from thought to sensation, from mental effort to physical presence. You are no longer thinking about being tired. You are feeling it in your bones. A deep, slow fatigue, not of failure, but of release. Like roots finally letting go after years of holding fast. Let your attention travel down one leg. Begin at the hip joint where thigh meets pelvis. Feel how that socket holds stillness now instead of tension. No need to brace against imagined motion or future effort, just sitting in its own quiet stability. Then let your awareness glide down through the outer side of your thigh, feeling the soft layer of muscle beneath skin, warm from blood flow, not stiff with strain. It moves with you even when you don't move, like a river that flows without needing to be pushed. And as you continue downward past the knee, notice how the joint is open now, no longer locked in resistance, just letting gravity pull the leg into its natural angle.